I actually appreciate, and I appreciate this on both sides of the aisle, when you're willing to call out someone within your own party if you disagree with them, whether it's serious or whether it's just a debate. That should happen. That's healthy for both parties. Here's my question, though. So what you're talking about is essentially party loyalty. But what happens when a party, and I think we're seeing this in the Democratic Party, begins to have such a divide amongst the ideological viewpoints that one candidate, such as Joe Biden, simply doesn't represent the ideology of the further left-wing faction of the Democratic Party?
But Liz, here's what's interesting. Brianna's kind of on an island. I mean, Democrats, quicker than 4 years ago, and really quicker than really any time in the modern era, have all coalesced behind Joe Biden. I mean, look at the fact that Barack Obama, Bernie Sanders, all of the candidates that were a part of the 2020 presidential cycle, they've all endorsed Joe Biden pretty quickly. He got an 8-week head start on what Hillary Clinton had last time. He doesn't have a fractured party to deal with. So the fact that Brianna, even in the face of all this information, is still going about this kind of burn it down approach against Joe Biden, that's what's so bothersome here. She doesn't represent a lot of Sanders supporters. She represents herself.
Okay. Well, let me hit you with this one then. What you said is true. A lot of elected officials who were Democrats, who perhaps were former contenders for the Democratic nomination, did come out and endorse Joe Biden. There's simply no question of that. We can all see that for ourselves. However, elected officials or candidates aren't the same faction of people as voters. And there was a recent poll, I believe it was right around the time that Bernie Sanders dropped out, so just a matter of weeks ago, that showed up to 15 or 16% of his supporters not only said that they were going to stay home and not vote for Joe Biden, but that they would actually prefer to vote for President Trump versus Joe Biden. It appears as though Brianna is not alone, that she does have at least some friends who agree with her.
There are going to be Bernie Sanders supporters who vote for Donald Trump. That is a fact of life. Guess what? There are also going to be Donald Trump voters from 2016 who vote for Joe Biden this time around. So I'm happy to make that trade-off. And I think Joe Biden is going to keep more of that Sanders base than I think what conventional wisdom would say. Biden's done a good job of bringing the party together, and he's only got more time to pull it together. Call me the optimist, Liz. You remember me. You know how optimistic I like to be.